I'm going to be doing a voiceover for this because there's no audio involved. We're going to be talking about grooves. Grooves are basically different rhythms and velocities that you can apply onto your MIDI. And one thing that's important to realize is that they are just MIDI files. You can hover over them here and get a little preview of what the groove sounds like. But when we drag one out to a MIDI track, you can see that it is just a MIDI clip. And you can see that this MIDI clip has a very specific timing. It's not exactly on the grid, and that the velocity also has a style to it. I'm going to just zoom down to one bar of this MIDI clip and make another MIDI clip of just 16th notes. I'll apply this classic rock groove to this MIDI clip, and you'll see the timing changes to match the groove MIDI clip. There's a few other controls here like quantize. Quantize is helpful because if I keep it at 0 and I keep applying this groove to this MIDI clip, it's going to keep nudging it further and further and further based on the timing of the groove. If you put quantize at 100%, then it's going to quantize the MIDI first and then apply the groove so that the timing will exactly match the groove. Right now you might notice that our velocity hasn't been changing at all, and that's because our velocity control is at 0%. If we throw this up to 100%, it's going to apply the velocity of the groove to the MIDI clip. And this timing, just like the velocity applies the velocity of the groove to the clip, timing applies the timing of the groove to the clip. So if we set this to 0 and we still have it at 100% quantize, then this is really just going to quantize the MIDI clip, apply the velocity, and not change the timing to match the groove whatsoever. So you can make your own grooves by adjusting a groove that you already have or from any MIDI clip. You can even extract grooves from audio files. But there's a lot of applications for this. One that I found is pretty useful is if you have a hi-hat, and I don't know about you, but I tend to use a very familiar velocity pattern when I program my hi-hats, where the first beat is the loudest, the second beat and the fourth beat are softer, and the third beat is just a little softer than the loudest. It's just a very natural hi-hat pattern, and I find myself using this a lot. So I made my own groove template for velocity only. It doesn't adjust the timing at all. And so if I have a long clip of hi-hats and I don't want to go through adjusting each and every velocity for those, so I can just go ahead and apply this groove to the hi-hats. I only put one measure of eighth notes in the groove, but it will apply that continuously for however long your clip is. You also have a random percentage slider, and this does exactly that. It'll randomize your MIDI. And sometimes I like to use this and just keep applying it to a groove and see what changes. And sometimes it will slowly devolve into something interesting. You never know. So that's how grooves work. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.